time, we got punter Oliver Straw, or as you all know, Molly. Question for Ollie. Go ahead, Greg.
Ollie, the one that sticks out a couple weeks ago was the catch you made on the errant snap. I mean, McGuire's had good snaps, but that one wasn't. Do you go, uh-oh? What goes through your mind when you see that thing sailing and you just stick a hand out? Take me through that.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's just pretty much reaction. Obviously, as you said, McGuire's been really good all year, and that wasn't his best snap, and he knew that as soon as we came off the field. But it's a reaction thing, and we work bad balls a lot in practice, and so when you're in the game and everything's running at full speed, it's kind of just straight reaction time, and you just fall back on your training and what you've been doing for the past 6-7 months.
Hands naturally, or are you a guy who's catch as well?
I think I've had pretty good hands since I played Australian football, but it's something that I've really honed this past year. I'd spend a lot of time working on the jugs machine, and throughout winter just catching 25 minutes of footballs every day. So I think it's something I've definitely built up over time. But yeah.
Teams didn't have the best of days on Saturday. I mean, not necessarily your kicks, but 1 punt, 2 kickoff returns come back at you guys. How have you guys tried as a special teams unit to improve upon that?
Yeah, no, for sure. Saturday, those type of things really hurt the team, and so obviously every time we go out there, the goal is to make a positive impact on the game, and we weren't our best on Saturday. So I think that this week at practice, it's just going to be going back to work and really focusing on the things that we can improve on, and making sure that we correct those mistakes, because mistakes are going to happen when you're playing football. Like, it's a fact. So I mean, staying positive and going straight back to work is the only way you can fix it, and preventing those mistakes from happening again, and that's the only thing you can really do.
You've seen coaching change. You've seen multiple seasons of full seasons of football. At this point in the season, when there's been these ups and these downs, do you kind of stand up at this point in the locker room and try to impart some of that knowledge, some of that experience, and help get the mood right, get the mentality right in the locker room?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, obviously, we've had 2 good wins, and then we've had two losses that we feel like we just didn't perform where we should be. And so I think that the biggest thing is someone who's been around football for 4 years now is getting younger guys ready to play and making sure that they're aware that this is going to happen, and losses happen, and the only thing, as I said before, is the only thing you can do is go back to work at practice, and having a great week at practice is the only way to have a good week and play well in the game. So I think that just emphasizing that to the young guys is that the only way you can win is you go back to work after a loss. There's no other way.
Have you learned any different methods or approaches to help do that in the locker room, help keep the mentality where it needs to be and get people back to work and back to practicing hard?
Yeah, for sure. I think that something that Coach Rod mentioned at one point was, a loss should sting, otherwise it doesn't mean enough to you. And so I think that taking it personal enough for a short amount of time, maybe 24 hours, and then flushing it down the drain, and really emphasizing that it's a new week and new things happen. So you can't live in the past, but it has to affect you enough to motivate you to get back to work and doing what you do best.
Oliver, how do you work bad snaps at practice?
Just off of throwing the ball in places that the snappers usually wouldn't put it. So outside of my body, my frame, we just do hand snaps. So they throw the ball left, right, up, down, just every possible situation where obviously you don't want it to happen, but that things do happen, and just being prepared for that.
Schematics change from week to week and opponent to opponent. Do you have a different scheme each time out, or is it opponent, you guys go cover it?
No, I think that it does change. Obviously, teams have tendencies, and you've got to prepare your best for what a team's going to want to do. And obviously, with Kansas, their idea was to go to the field and get a field return going. So my punt location on that first one that they did have the return on wasn't good enough. It gave that returner the right of way to go right back to the field. So it's making sure that each guy knows their responsibility in the coverage, and obviously making sure that you're aware of the tendencies of the other team and adjusting to them.
Ali, did you almost run on one of your punts? It looked like you might have gone through your mind a little bit.
It does go through my mind every now and again on the rollouts for sure. Obviously, Pitt last year there was the one time that I did do it. So, it's something I look for. Coaches are always telling me like just be aware, and when teams bring guys and they're holding our guys up at the line of scrimmage and they're just turning their backs, and it gives a chance to go with the ball. So I mean, if it happens and the opportunity's there, I'll go for it. Yeah.
Okay, anything else? All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.